Today we're discussing the never-ending journey to achieve work-life balance.
Easier said than done, right? I mean, is it even possible? That's the question. Well, here to help us out this morning, parenting coach and local mother of three, Deborah Porter. It's good to see you.
Good morning. It's so good to be here. How are you?
Well, I'm going to be better after talking to you because I'm going to get some work-life balance. But my first question is, I mean, how do you really define work-life balance? Because it could be subjective, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think when we're saying balance, many people think we're talking 50-50. But another definition of balance is different elements being in correct proportion with each other. So that's not 50-50. That might look like this some days, right? There's very few things in life can be split down the middle that even. Marriage isn't even 50-50.
Correct.
And so when we're looking at our lives and thinking we can just slice it down the middle like that, I think that's part of the problem.
And so how do you make sure that you're finding the right balance for yourself?
Yes, because everybody's balance is unique, right? Your balance is not going to look like mine. So I think what we're talking about is the things that kind of still allow our core values to be lived in our lives. So if your balance is not in line with what your core values are, that's when you have burnout. That's when you have overwhelm.
So how do you tip the balance? How do you tip the scale? Because so like if you're the person, I mean, I find myself in this, you know, it's like on this day it's 70-30, right? And it feels like more and more days it's 70-30. How do I get the day where I can be the 30 and the other half can be the 70?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we want to do is there are a few things you want to have in place. You've got to have a plan. You've got to have a plan and some systems in place in your life and in your home so that when life happens and those unexpected things happen, there are certain things that are going to be on autopilot. So what does that look like? So having not just a planner, but maybe a way to integrate your personal calendar, your work calendar, and your family calendar. And that is shared with your significant other. So at a glance, when you're planning and when things at work come up, at a glance, you know what's going on.
How do you get the significant partner then to look at the calendar? Oh, wait, that's a different segment. I mean, that's a marriage segment. Sorry.
Come back and we'll talk about that. But you also want to have a plan around meals. If you can plan meals, if you can plan outfits, right? On a Sunday evening, have 3 or 4 outfits with accessories and everything ready to go. And then we're talking about what does it look like in your home for others to have a place and a part in the running and caring and chores of the home.
Speaking of others, I think one of the things that I'm guilty of it now that I'm a new mom is you do it all and you're like, delegate, what is that? How do you ask for help? And then once, you know, folks are willing to, how do you delegate?
I think one of the things we have to think about is, you know, as a mom, as a woman, if I do it, I can just do it. By the time I sit down, explain it, and tell you about it, like I really could have had it done already. So we've got to get rid of that idea and understand that giving a task to someone else, it's going to take them a minute to do it the right way, which is generally our way. But once you delegate it, it's theirs to do. And that conversation looks like this. You know what? I could show up better in this relationship and in our home if I had more support and more help. So of this list of things that we've got going on, which 2 or 3 can you own as yours? You don't need me to remind you. You don't need me to check on you about it. But this is now yours to own.
That is really good. Can I write that down? I need to write that down.
I like that you put that on them because they also know themselves best and they know what they can do best.
You also say when you are stuck, just ask for help.
Don't stay stuck. Right. If you have a jar of pickles at home and the top is stuck on it, what do? You ask somebody to, like, we get the idea of things not being stuck, but we'll stay there. And so what does that look like? That looks like, do you have a therapist? Do you have someone that you can talk to about what's going on in your life? Do you have a life coach? You know, who are you talking with? Who are you letting know this isn't a good day? And not having a good day doesn't mean you don't have a good life. It's just a bad day.
I like that.
Yeah, and I'm listening to you. I want to know, when do I know that I need a therapist and when do I know I need a life coach, and the difference between the two?
So the difference between the two is a life coach is going to help you set goals and is looking forward. A therapist is going to help you deal with your past and how that has impacted you.
Oh, I don't think I've ever had anyone explain that to me that way. And I need both.
Yes.
And that's okay.
And now we know we need both.
And that's okay.
Listen, the tips you give are refreshingly practical. Where can folks go to get some more information?
DeborahPorter.net.
DeborahPorter.net.
There's some free resources on there, and if you want to chat, that's an option for that too.
Okay, we got to have you back on again.
Can you always be on our Mom's Club, please?
Can you come to my house?
Yeah.
All right,
actually, can you just be my mom? No.
All right, Deborah, thank you so much.
Thank you.